TSM, an add-on to save up, manage, or make money in
an out-of-season April Fool's joke.
Do you guys not have gold? This should be helpful for people who just want to run M+ or raids and just want to save some money and time getting consumables, all the way to people who actually want to make gold. I know how this add-on looks, you do not need to use all of it, just some easy to set up parts. Do you ever neglect to restock your potions? Do you always forget what that flask is called? Are you not tired of the raid leader screaming at you? Introducing TSM. It solves all of your problems with one click of the button. Okay, so consumables first. You click scan and buy, and that is it. It restocks all consumables you need only at reasonable prices. Let's see how to set up and maintain. Type /TSM and create this operation, which has the following. This just ensures you do not buy at a price higher than usual. For more information or explanations, check the Hieroglyphs section. Then you create a group of items, 20, 10, or 5, however many items you wish to carry. Attach the operation to the group as shown, and done. Some of you might think,
But Monsieur Chaos, do we have to do this for FG expansion and season?
no, my little badly accented French mini-reeves. You simply have to add whatever new potions and remove the old ones. That is all the maintenance it requires. Next, BoE and rare acquisitions. Firstly, it shows you the tooltip cost, so you do not accidentally vendor an item worth more than your house. Also, there are a few things that you could do. Firstly, you can set up TSM to show prices from multiple servers. BoEs, for example, can be moved between servers through various methods, and prices wildly differ. If you do not want to set up an alt on some good BoE server, you may consider trading it to one of your guildies that you raid with in exchange for the sum of the item, and let him sell it. Overall, the tooltip, in my opinion, helps prevent accidental selling or underselling. Just make sure these two states are not zero, meaning they actually sell on the market. For the process of actually selling these items, you'll have to check the selling section of the video, I'm afraid. This becomes a little bit more complicated. Now, for tracking and information. This seems like it would not be useful, but you'd be surprised. Firstly, it helps track incoming mail payments to ensure someone did not skip any. Then, it shows all your gold, past and present. And thirdly, it shows what your expenses and sales are. This is interesting, as I am sure some of these items will surprise you and quite possibly depress you. But now you know to pay more attention on flask prices, and that perhaps some items do make you some decent gold. Now, let's understand the tooltips a bit better. These here tell you the amount of gold that it would generate depending on the action taken, such as vendors and disenchanting. Inventory tracking across all chars and banks, etc. The cost required to create said item, so you'd know if it's worth producing your own potions or buying them. And finally, the big section, auction house prices.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
Minimum buyout is the current lowest price. Recent prices uses the magic school of math, aggregating the price from the last 14 days. Just think of it as a true price of the item. If someone flips the market and buys all potions and then reposts at a higher price, the difference between buyout and recent prices will tell you this. Historical price is the same thing, just calculated over 60 days. Use whichever you like, or both. Market value trend also shows you the price difference as a percentage. Alternative realm is the same thing, it's just you can set it up to show from another server. Instructions in the install section. Next is the regional version of all of these, which shows data combined from all servers. There are 3 new sections here. Region sale average, which shows the average price at which it sells across all servers to give you a broader picture. Average daily sold, which shows you how many are sold per day, representing market's demand. And sale rate, which shows you how many sales are per posting. as some auctions expire or are undercut, representing market competition. The following are settings I am using in case you are wondering. Now let's talk advanced buying and selling. The basics remain the same. Create operations, link them to a group, which is then to be filled with items. We will go through what I used to utilize for buying, mailing, crafting, and selling Vial of the Sands. A rather unnecessarily complicated procedure, which should, however, cover everything you need to know. Step 1. Vendor buying. Created a group with the required items, attach to it the vendoring operation, click on the NPC, and buy. Next, there are a few items which you may not wish to farm yourself. Put items in groups, then attach the shopping operation. This is what I suggest for maximum price. If you wish to crop up something, check the next section, but make sure you set a numerical max price as a failsafe. Mailing operations, which are still easier to execute rather than using the warband bank, attach the operation and just click one button. Next, crafting. Again, a crafting operation with how many you would like. Sometimes you care about minimum profit, but generally you do not. And lastly, selling. Make sure the operation is set properly on the item group. There are several variations that I utilize depending on the speed required to sell items. For items that never change, like Vial of the Sands, that also have a creation cost, you wish to maximize profits. For things that you just normally want to sell, where most things go, I use something like this. And lastly, for items whose prices drop very quickly, like BoEs, you may even wish to sell them manually, as prices really fluctuate. But here's what I use. To actually sell, open the auction house, click post with a macro, and done. For reposting, in the case where you get undercut, run a cancel scan, pick up your items, and repost them. And that should be it. Now for the weird things, whatever these mean. There's an extended list on the TSM website which details things better than I can. However, with a list that long, you might get lost. Here are some of the more important ones that will probably be enough to write your own things. These ones are representations of the values we talked about in the last section, such as crafting costs or vendor prices. These are prices for items in the auction house itself. There is some other ones that get the item level or the amount you currently possess. And this should be about it. Lastly, there are functions that you require to use. Let's see some examples. This first one checks if we have any prices given by the add-on. This is a failsafe built for any weird scenarios where you failed your TSM setup. The second failsafe comes in this function. This is because some items can be sold at vendors for prices close to 100k, and therefore it would always be worth checking if vendoring is not better. Then comes actual price settings. We check the minimum price depending on current value, which is the maximum between regional markets and current server ones, multiplied by a value of your choosing. Multiplying by, say, 0.9 means you accept to post at 90% of the usual price. And as prices usually keep falling, this might be acceptable. Lastly, to cover some options. Auction duration is the amount of time you set your auction at. I recommend 24. Post cap is the amount that should be kept on market, set at 2 for expensive items and 100 or so for cheaper consumables. Amount in bags is to ensure you never sell the last X items of that type. On crafting operations, there are minimum amounts to craft and minimum profit options, which are not that great. And that about covers it. Let's talk installing and setting up TSM. You're going to talk about installing the thing in the last section of the video? Yes, because trying to get M+ and raiders who possess an attention span lower than that of their GCD to learn and utilize an add-on that comes close to coding is already a nightmare. I baited you with some memes, a sales pitch, and some applicable information first. I'm not sorry. Anyway, installing. The add-on is as easy to get as any other, through your manager of choice. Next, the app. Yes, you need to download an app to get a database of close to real-time prices of items. Their website has a pretty straightforward explanation. Download, install, make an account, log in, set WoW game path, set up servers, one for where your character is, and another on a bigger or smaller server for price reference. And lastly, check this section here, which should show you if everything is properly installed. If certain interfaces, such as vendors, are not something you would like, click on the WoW UI button to revert to the default. Next, type /TSM or click the minimap icon and set your macro. I suggest making it mouse wheel down or mouse wheel down plus another button so you can spam it. This is because Blizzard does not allow an add-on to automatically do things without user input, and scrolling is fast. Let's check some settings that you may be interested in. Enable region-wide trading is a method to track characters across servers. I have not experienced any lag from this, however I heard complaints, so I keep it off. Track purchases via trade enabled. Copy these mailing settings so you do not accidentally overflow your bags. Also, should the add-on occupy too much space, you may delete some old data. This is not really an endgame guide about classes or raids. However, I hope this manages to save you some time by automating things and perhaps even save you some money. Because my god, things are expensive in this game.